16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, shit. Hey, Lee, did Brandon take some TP again without letting me know? Oh, wait, this thing's on already. It's toilet paper stuff. You gotta keep track of it. Well, hey, Western Hills people. Listen, let's talk today about taking things for granted. I've back when this all started, I heard a lot of people saying I could never take this for granted again, or that for granted again, or going to church I could never take for granted again. But I just I wonder how true is that really? How much truth is there to that? Would we, when it's all over with, will we really um, not take things for granted? We all take things for granted, you know. For 2 months ago, we go in a store and we took for granted we needed toilet paper. We're gonna get toilet paper. You know, 2 months ago, well, every 3 weeks, pretty much 3 or 4 weeks of my life, I took for granted that I was going to get a haircut. But you see this mop, what it looks now. 52 years of my life, I took for granted that I was going to go to a church building and have church. And for my 53rd birthday, I figured out that it might not be right. It might not be so. You know, for 18 years, my stepson Brandon, he figured about this time of the year, he was in 2020, he was going to be walking across the stage graduating. And he'll graduate, but man, I get to walk across the stage along with a lot of other seniors this year. And you know, for almost 26 years, my wife took for granted that on Monday morning she was going to get up and go to work at the same office she'd been for 26 years, almost 26 years. Well, last Monday, she didn't have an office to go to as of last Monday. I know that a lot of you have seen the news story of the young firefighter in Spring Hill that lost his life in a tragic accident. He's a very good friend of mine. He used to work for me. Funniest kid I've ever met in my life. He'd have us rolling in the truck. About a week and a half ago, maybe a little more, I was in TSC and I heard someone say, "You see that man right there? He taught me how to cut grass." And I looked up and it was him and had his precious little girl with him. And, you know, I didn't shake hands with him, talked with him, visited with him, you know, for a while, but didn't go up and shake hands with him, didn't hug him or nothing, you know. But didn't know that about 4 days later, he would be running up a creek bank trying to keep his little girl safe from a storm, and a tree limb comes down and took his life. And, you know, we take things for granted and they don't always turn out. And there's some things that we have to take for granted. Somewhat, you know, we can't just go and pray about everything, you know, and thank God for everything. We're not going to lay down at night and, you know, why, pray, Lord, that this blanket's going to keep me warm, you know. I, you know, put milk and cereal in a bowl, and I pretty much somewhat have to take for granted it's going to hold the milk in the bowl, you know, that kind of thing. But you know, most things in life we can't take for granted, but because we don't really know. But there's one verse that I wanted to read that you can definitely take for granted. Hebrews 13:8. It says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. That we can take for granted because we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that is true. But, the bit of wisdom I have in me tells me that in a year or two, a year or so, we really, all these things that we say we won't take for granted again, we probably will. We'll get on with life and pretty much take for granted we're going to go back to church and all that. But what I want to let you think about is through all this, let your heart be changed. The you know a lot of people my age back in the 70s, 80s used to make fun of our grandparents was why they were so conservative. Why we had plenty of stuff. Why do they want to be so conservative about stuff? And that we didn't understand. They knew it could all be gone tomorrow. The fact is, we're all day to day. Everything's day to day, except for God. But let your heart be changed. For one, the people, your people, just don't take them for granted. Love on them more than you ever thought you could. And another thing that's dear to me is worship. When we get back together, worship. Be ready to worship and love on God a lot. Y'all just lucky that I'm an extremely white guy because when I get back on that stage, I'll be scared to death if that's no way I'd be dancing, but boy, I'd be thinking about it. But anyway, y'all just think about that. And we love you and we miss y'all. And we'll be back together pretty soon. And y'all just take it easy and think about that. Let your heart be changed. Y'all have a good day.